Ah, the dream of a new home. You see the glossy brochures for a place like Harmony Heights, and you're sold. The pictures are perfect. The grass is greener than a cartoon frog, and the sun is always shining. It's like they built a little piece of heaven and put a for sale sign on it. Buying a new home in a development like this is genuinely one of the most exciting moments in life. You can already picture yourself there, hosting a braai, trying to figure out how the fancy new oven works. But hold on, before you start measuring for curtains, let's talk about the uninvited guests that can show up at your housewarming party, the hidden costs. They don't RSVP, they don't bring a gift, and they definitely plan on staying. It's a classic story, really. You sign on the dotted line, you get the keys, you do a little victory dance in your empty living room, and then the bills start rolling in. And I'm not just talking about the bond repayment you budgeted for. I'm talking about its sneaky cousins, levies, rates, taxes, and a whole family of upfront fees you never met. Suddenly, your dream home feels a bit more like a subscription service with a very confusing user agreement. It's like buying a ticket to a movie, and then they charge you extra for the sound, the picture, and the chair you're sitting on. It can be a real shock to the system if you're not prepared. So what's the plan? Don't panic. That's what I'm here for. Think of me as your financial tour guide through this exciting but sometimes tricky landscape of property ownership. We're going to pull back the curtain and shine a big bright spotlight on all those costs lurking in the shadows. This isn't about scaring you away from your dream. It's about arming you with knowledge so you can walk into that sales office with a smile and the confidence of a seasoned pro. Here's a quick rundown of what you need to know to make sure your beautiful new home doesn't come with any nasty financial surprises. All right, let's start with the basics. You have your bond, right? That's the main character of your financial story, the big monthly payment you make to the bank. You've planned for it, you've budgeted for it, you're on a first-name basis with it, but your bond doesn't live alone. It has a whole crew of friends that also want a piece of your wallet. First up, we have levies. Think of levies as the monthly fee for living in a community. They cover the maintenance of all the cool stuff you share, like the swimming pool you'll use twice, the security guard who knows your car, the perfectly manicured gardens, and the lights in the parking lot. Without levies, the place would fall apart faster than a celebrity marriage. Next in the lineup are rates and taxes. These are paid to the municipality for services they provide to your property. We're talking about refuse collection, so your trash doesn't become a permanent art installation, sewerage, and the upkeep of local roads and infrastructure. It's basically your contribution to not living in the wilderness. Then, you've got your own utilities, electricity and water. In a new development, these are often prepaid, which is great for budgeting, but it's still a cost you need to remember. It's like a cell phone plan for your house. You have to top it up, or suddenly you're having a candlelit dinner whether you wanted to or not. And we haven't even moved in yet. Before you get the keys, you face the bouncers at the club, the upfront costs. There's the bond registration fee, which is what you pay the attorneys to register your mortgage bond with the deeds office. It's their fee for doing the very important paperwork that says the bank has a claim on your home if you decide to stop paying. Then there are transfer costs, another lawyer fee for transferring the property from the developer's name into your name. Now here's a bit of good news. In new developments, you often get to skip a big one called transfer duty, which is a tax paid to SARS. Because you're buying directly from the developer, this is usually included in the price, saving you a nice chunk of change. Always confirm this, but it's one of the perks of buying new. Okay, so you know the costs. Now how do you protect yourself before you commit? This is the part where you become a detective. Your first and most important piece of evidence is the contract, or the offer to purchase. I know, it's a huge document filled with more legal jargon than a courtroom drama. It's tempting to just flip to the last page and sign. Please don't do that. Read every single clause. This document is legally binding, and anything the salesperson promised you, a specific type of tile, a completion date, a free pet unicorn, needs to be in that contract in writing. If it's not in the contract, as far as the law is concerned, it was never said. Because that contract is so dense, your next move should be to call in a professional. Get your own lawyer or conveyancer to look over the agreement. Yes, it's an extra cost, but it could save you tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of rands down the line. Think of it as insurance against future headaches. The developer's attorney works for the developer, not for you. You need someone in your corner, someone who can spot a red flag from a mile away. At the same time, demand a full, written breakdown of all the costs we just talked about. Don't accept vague answers. You want a spreadsheet with numbers line by line. How much are the levies? How are they calculated? What are the estimated rates and taxes? What are the exact bond and transfer costs? Once you have the numbers, it's time to investigate the community itself. Ask for a copy of the body corporate's rules and regulations. These are the rules you'll have to live by. Can you have pets? Where are you allowed to park? Are there rules about noise? You need to know if you can live with their rules before you move in. Also, that beautiful show unit you walked through, is that exactly what you're getting? Inspect it closely. Check the quality of the finishes, the fittings, the workmanship. Confirm in writing that your unit will have the same quality. And finally, do your homework on the developer. Google them. Look for reviews from people who bought in their previous developments. Check their track record for finishing on time and for the quality of their buildings. A good reputation is worth its weight in gold. Now, let's talk about something that affects the whole community. What happens when people don't pay their levies? It might seem like a small thing, just one person skipping a payment, but honestly, it's not. It's the first domino in a chain reaction that can seriously damage the entire development. The body corporate runs on a very tight budget, which is funded almost entirely by the levies collected from all the owners. When one person doesn't pay, it creates a shortfall. The body corporate still has to pay the bills: security, cleaning, insurance, garden services, electricity for the common areas. Those service providers don't care that someone didn't pay. They want their money. So what does the body corporate do? It has to pull money from its reserves if it has any. These reserves are meant for long-term planned maintenance projects, like repainting the whole complex or fixing the roof. When that money is used for day-to-day operational costs, those bigger projects get delayed or cancelled. This is when you start to see the physical signs of decay. The swimming pool starts looking a bit green, the paint starts to peel, the security gate takes longer to open, and the gardens look less manicured. The overall standard of the development drops, which in turn can start to negatively affect your property value. If the problem persists and more people stop paying, the body corporate is forced into a corner. They have two options, and you're not going to like either of them. The first is to cut services. Maybe they reduce the number of security guards or the frequency of garden maintenance. The second, a more likely option, is to increase the levies for all the owners who are paying, to cover the shortfall left by those who are not. So you end up paying more because your neighbour isn't paying their share. And for the non-payer, the body corporate will eventually take legal action against them to recover the debt, which is a costly and unpleasant process for everyone involved. It creates a negative atmosphere and puts a strain on the whole community. Knowledge is power, and in this game, asking the right questions is your superpower. Don't be shy. You're making one of the biggest financial decisions of your life, so you have every right to be thorough. Walk into that sales office with a list, and don't leave until you have clear answers. Start with the money. Question number 1. What is the exact monthly levy, and can I see the budget to understand how it's calculated? Follow it up with, has a levy increase been planned for the next year? This helps you budget not just for now, but for the near future as well. Next, tackle the other costs. Ask, what are the estimated municipal rates and taxes for a unit like this? The agent should be able to give you a very close estimate based on the property's value. Then, get specific about the upfront fees. Can you provide me with a written quote for all the bond registration and transfer costs? And can you confirm in writing that transfer duty is not applicable? Getting this on paper is crucial. It prevents any nasty surprises from the attorneys later on. You should also ask about the practicalities of moving in. What is the guaranteed completion date for my unit, and what are the penalties if the developer is delayed? Finally, dig into the lifestyle and security aspects. Ask to see the body corporate rules before you sign. Where can I find a copy of the conduct rules? This is where you find out about pets, visitors and renovations. And crucially, ask about security. What specific security measures are in place? Are there guards 24/7? Is there CCTV? Is there an electric fence? Don't just accept we have good security, get the details. Asking these questions doesn't make you difficult, it makes you a smart buyer. It shows the developer you're serious and ensures you know exactly what you're getting into with no hidden surprises. So there you have it. It might seem like a lot to take in, but it's really not that complicated once you break it down. Buying a new home should be a joyful experience, not a source of anxiety. The goal isn't to find a property with zero extra costs. That just doesn't exist. The goal is to know exactly what those costs are, what they're for, and to have a plan for them before they arrive in your mailbox. It's the difference between navigating a river with a map and a paddle versus just floating along and hoping for the best. One way you get to your destination, the other way you're probably going over a waterfall. Think of this knowledge as the foundation of your new home. Before the first brick is laid, before the paint is chosen, you've built a solid base of financial understanding. You've read the fine print, you've asked the tough questions, and you've looked into the future. You're not just buying an apartment or a house. You're making a well-informed investment in your future and becoming part of a community. You're stepping into this new chapter of your life with your eyes wide open, ready for both the joys and the responsibilities of home ownership. Don't let the fear of the unknown hold you back from finding your perfect place in a development like Harmony Heights. By understanding these key points, you'll be well prepared to make a smart and confident home purchase in your new development. You'll be able to spot a good deal, protect yourself from potential pitfalls, and most importantly, you'll be able to truly relax and enjoy your new home from the moment you get the keys. Now go out there and find your dream home. You've earned it.